Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your March reading. I have had a really rough March. I've had some pretty bad migraines, which is a cycle thing for me. Like it's a secular every single year at this time since I had the blood clot in my brain in 2021. I start getting migraines around this time of year. And I've like taken medication. So like I've learned a lot about the brain since this blood clot 3 years ago. Um, and the brain will store like we create new pathways and new synapses and all of these new neurons, and every single day we create these. And when your brain goes through a trauma, it um, takes all of that information and it stores it, and it like keeps it like safe, all tucked away because it thinks it's supposed to. And so when we have that trauma, or when we have like triggers to that trauma, so, and for me, I always get allergies during this time of year. And so that's the trigger to this migraine in my brain, are the allergies, because it was allergy season. I had a broken tooth and I just had a tooth removed recently. Like there were like all these little triggers that happened. And so for years, we've been like working on retraining my brain, and I'm doing it again this year. And I just have to be really patient with myself, and I have to, know when it's time to like pull back from looking at the screen, and, know when it's time to, actually like pick up a book and retrain my brain and read instead of looking at a screen, or like I'm doing diamond art instead of looking at an electronic screen, things like that. And I think that it's very kind of on brand for what we're all going through right now. Like we all, after the traumas that we've been through with the pandemic and with the fear mongering and like the really, harsh realities that have sort of been put into our faces, we sort of have to retrain ourselves to find joy, and we have to retrain ourselves to find that happiness. And like Pisces season has been so cleansing for all of us thus far, that it's, as we get to eclipse season, there's going to be like this huge wave of release and letting go. And like, I'm really glad that I'm feeling better, because I, have planned on doing eclipse readings. They're going to go on Patreon. I'm going to be doing astrology and tarot readings for the eclipses. I've got an astrology 101 class I'm doing on the universe tier for Patreon. So if you've always wanted to learn your birth chart, you can do that for $22.99 right now. And you'd be supporting me as well. So now is really not the time to force anything to happen as your entire reading falls out onto the table. Let's just look and see. Now is definitely not the time to force anything, but we also don't want to be really passive when it comes to building stuff and looking at the future and creating foundations. Like, just because it feels like there are pieces of us that are being let go, this is where we're retraining ourselves, right? We're looking at all of that stuff that we no longer need, and we're opening up space. The first card that came out was the Lovers. I love that. Then we have the Empress. We have the Eight of Swords, King of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. also a Gemini or a Taurus. But I feel like there's like one part of you where your mind is all sorts of, wrapped up in things. Like this is that self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. And then I feel like there's another part of you where it's like, I'm really loving on myself and giving back to myself. And I'm, really trying to find this wholeness. And like, I don't want to, I feel like part of you is like, I don't want to be up in my mind. I want to be in my body. I want to feel this wholeness. Because for me, the Lovers, I'm the reader that's going to read the Lovers first by finding balance within. That doesn't mean that you're 100% completely healed and whole. That's not what that means. The Lovers is finding a balance within yourself and knowing that you're working with your masculine and your feminine, and you're not like leaning too far one end or leaning too far on the other end. For me, it feels like there's this leveling up that's happening with you. And I think that you're kind of worried that some people in your life may not be coming with you, this King of Wands in particular. Doesn't have to be a fire sign, could be any other sign. This King of Wands is someone that's in your life who seems to be a pretty confident person, leads his kingdom with a big heart and all of that confidence, but sometimes he can have an ego. Sometimes he can really like be all about himself, and that's but it feels like in a big way that that's where the confusion is. It's like you're in this place where you really want to just find that safety within yourself first and foremost, more than anything. And I think that you're wondering whether this person here, this King of Wands person, is coming with you or not, right? A lot of you are also wanting to manifest a relationship, and there may be a person that's in your life that has shown some interest, and you're a little bit curious um, on whether that is the right person for you. Let's see here. Maybe not. Nine of Cups on the Lovers. I think with this Nine of Cups, you're establishing what it is that you want in that Lovers type of relationship, that connection that kind of like defies space and time. That Nine of Cups is the wish card. And then and that's the thing, is like, when you're in that state of mind, you can easily find that desperation point where it's not necessary. Like, I'm not saying that you guys are desperate, but if you really need the attention, or you really feel like you need the attention, you could fall for the attention of someone that isn't necessarily like looking out for your best interest, right? So that's where the discerning has to be. And I feel like that's what this is in a big way, is the discernment. Ace of Pentacles with the Empress. The universe is handing you some information and some gifts right now. We have 3 aces in this reading. So the Ace of Pentacles here on the Empress, and I have the Ace of Swords on the 8 of Swords. I feel like the universe is handing something to you right now. And I feel like the discernment, like, I don't want you to overthink it. I feel like we overthink things way too much. And that can often cause us to like just not enjoy life because we're overthinking things like way too much, it just feels that way, right? So for so many of you, you're manifesting relationships right now, you're manifesting monetary needs right now you're manifesting, all of these desires that you want to have in your life. And the universe is here. The universe is like, I get it. I'm coming with it. It is happening. It's going to be coming to you. But that Eight of Swords, with you blindfolding yourself and having like overthinking, like when, how, where, da 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 da, all of those things, that's the blockage. The blockage is in trying to figure out what the universe's tricks are, the magician, right? All that magic up the universe's sleeve. Let's see who this King of Wands is. Patience. Patience for the King of Wands. Patience for the King of Wands. So, um, in so many ways, Capricorn, this reading feels like what you are doing here is manifesting, and it makes sense, manifesting relationships, but there's some ideals that I feel like eclipse season is going to be removing for you. So I'm like trying to think of the chart. Hold on a second, just really quick here. So the the Libra eclipse is going to be in your 10th house. And that's happening at the end of March. And that's the next reading that I'll be doing. But there are, how do I want to put this? There are some relationships that are coming into your life for your career to like help you with your career and help you to move on to like the next phase of your life. And I feel like there are chapters that are like closing out in your personal life so that you can move on to the next phase of your life. And so this feels like that's what's happening here. This already feels like this is that eclipse energy that's coming in. Knight of Pentacles with the King of Wands. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. I was wondering if that energy was here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Knight of Pentacles on the King of Wands. So there's definitely somebody approaching you. And I feel like the person that's approaching you, or the energy that's approaching you, the situation, the experience that's approaching you, or already has approached you, has a lot of potential to it. The Knight of Pentacles is about not skipping the steps, not jumping from here to here, right? We want to make sure that, if this is someone that you're meeting on a romantic level, that you're like taking the needed steps forward to get to know each other before, getting too serious. If this is a business opportunity, you want to make sure that you're dotting all your I's and crossing all of your T's as we're moving into eclipse season. On the Ace of Cups, I have the Sun and the Page of Wands. Incredible reading, Capricorn. If you guys have been really feeling down lately or not really feeling like yourself, or you've been feeling out of sorts, this Page of Wands and the Sun are really coming in to bring some good news for you. There's definitely an uptick of energy as we get into Aries season. As we get closer to Aries season, we still have about a week before we get there, a little bit less than a week before we get to Aries season. But there's this uptick that, you're starting to feel like you have a little bit more energy. And it really does feel like Pisces season cleansed a lot of this, right? And took a lot of that heaviness and that burden away. And maybe that was why I needed to do your reading this late, so that I could give you guys a little bit of hope that things are changing and shifting. Knight of Wands with the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You cannot rush into the success part. That Knight of Wands is like, when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? That kind of thing. And the Six of Wands is like, this, you will succeed. This will be successful. This is an incredible March reading. So I'm really excited for you guys. And it looks like a lot of really great stuff is coming in. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your March. Thank you very much for your patience, and take really good care of yourselves. I love you so much. Bye.